Good morning. Today is Wednesday, March 16th. My name is Ron Morris. This is Moving Forward TV, your local real estate and mortgage update.
And I'm Delynn Gaston. We thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the show. A lot of you have been commenting and blogging and emailing us with some very positive feedback, and we want to say thank you. And please keep them coming because we really do enjoy it. If there's something that you want us to dig into for you, maybe learn a little bit more about, let us know. But I've rambled long enough. Let's get on with our laugh. Another one that's sad but true.
Sign of the times, what can we say? Let's move on to the show. Today, Delynn and I wanted to talk about the difference between working with a mortgage broker or a correspondent lender, which we both are, or working with a banker. Now, there's nothing wrong with working with a mortgage banker. No. We both have friends who are in the industry that we refer to and actually get referrals from time to time as well. Absolutely. I guess the only stumbling block that we see with a mortgage banker is they tend to be limited on the products that they offer. Bear in mind they work for one bank.
Right. And and they're the first ones to say that as well. They're limited in sometimes in what they can and can't do, which is why they refer to us sometimes, and sometimes we're limited in what we can do and we refer back to them.
Definitely a very nice two-way street there. And a difference with working with a broker or a correspondent lender is if we act as a correspondent lender, we're actually lending our own funds. Right. As a bank is as well. And if that's not the situation, then we can actually act as a broker, which uses the funds of the different lenders that we're set up to do business with.
Right. Now, you heard a lot about that, a lot of whispering going around and things like that about brokers going away and correspondent lenders and bankers and things like that. Just so that you know, we are, no matter what way it ends up shaking out, once the government makes up its mind, we're set up either way. So we're good to go.
We're going to be here.
That's right. Okay, the first thing we wanted to do is dispel some myths surrounding brokers versus bankers.
There are myths?
Yes, there are myths, a couple here and there. Myth number one, that a broker just can't do what a bank can. Not true. Yes, a broker can. In fact, as a broker, we are licensed and approved with the banks to send our loans through them. In fact, we're signed up with all of the big...
Which includes the big four as well.
Your Chase, your Wells, your Citi, Bank of America, as well as a host of other national lenders and bankers around the country. What we do is we find, out of all of the banks that are out there, who has the best pricing, terms, rates, things like that for this particular situation and this client.
Okay, myth number two.
Myth number two.
Brokers cost more than bankers.
No, they don't.
It's simply just not true. Again, as we touch base under myth one, we have a variety of different lenders to deal with. We're going to pick the best product for that client based on their set of circumstances. We probably have, 20 or more rate sheets emailed to us every day. And we're going to get into that more in just a moment as far as pricing is concerned. But we do have the flexibility of choosing the right lender for the right client. All right, let's take a look at a difference between a broker, correspondent lender, and a banker side by side. Let's start with FHA. FHA max debt ratio with some of the lenders that we can use is up to 55%.
And on the banker side, it's usually about 45% on their FHA and VA loans.
And again, with an FHA or VA loan, minimum credit score, 620, maybe 640, depending on the lender.
And on the bank side, we have seen some lenders, not on the FHA, but on their Fannie products, with a minimum credit score requirement of 680, and some of them even 700 minimum credit score.
Another good example is the FHA 203K. When Delynn and I are utilizing that product, we're going to the department with that lender that does nothing but 203K loans. They specialize in that product.
And unfortunately, a lot of the banks, not every bank participates in the 203K loan.
Same rule applies with the USDA. Again, we're dealing with a department that specializes in the USDA.
And again, not every bank participates in that program either.
Carry it over to jumbo loans. We have several lenders that all they do are jumbo loans.
And guess what? A lot of banks have pulled out of jumbo loans, so they're not available with some of the banks as well.
We also have access to non-traditional lending as well.
You're definitely not going to find that at a bank.
And of course, they'll have various guidelines with various lenders.
And the banks have one set of guidelines, their guidelines and their own overlays, and that's it.
And as a broker or correspondent lender, we have a variety of different lenders that we can use, including the Bank of America, Chase, Citi, Wells Fargo, Fifth Third, and a host of national lenders and banks out there as well.
So it's not just one set of guidelines, but it's all of these banks we can go to.
Speaking of guidelines, I had a referral recently, first-time home buyer, very young, cute couple. trying to buy their first home. I actually was the third mortgage person that touched the file. Once I met with the clients, went over the documentation and everything, their debt ratio was in excess of 50%. Actually, they were 54 and some change. Actually, they're even higher than that. We had to deal with some stuff on her credit report, co-sign stuff for parents and so forth.
Which is why the other two banks said no.
Exactly. So we had to get those liabilities out of her name, which we did. It wasn't actually very hard to do, and get her into the home. Now, her debt ratio, when it was all said and done, I have to be under 55%. 54.9 is fine. We are at 54.78% on that file. We were able to close it, got her in the home, first-time home buyer. And it's one of those clients that I know Delyn and I feel is why we got in the business. It's a very satisfying one when you can get it in. Specifically that this lady was turned down by two other lenders as well.
Right. So it was nice to have the ability to be able to go to different lenders to get this loan done for her.
It was a difference of whether they got the home or not.
Right. Earlier we had touched on rate sheets just a little bit. Every lender is a little bit different as far as the rate sheets go. It's not just pulling up the rate sheet and here's the rate for the 30-year fixed or the 15-year fixed or whatever it is, the FHA product. Every lender has certain overlays, add-ons, hits that they add onto the rate for certain things. Some of the things that get added on all the time is a condo. A condo is going to cost a little bit more. A lower credit score is going to cost more. A higher loan to value, there's going to be an add-on. A small loan size, that's one we're getting quite a bit lately. And all of those things are going to factor into the interest rate.
Exactly. We have one lender in particular, actually happens to be one of our favorite lenders that we use. For whatever reason, they just do not want to do small loans. Right. On a loan amount with this particular lender, under $75,000, they're adding, depending on credit score and everything, between 1 and 2 percentage points on that loan. So obviously, Delyn and I are not going to take that small loan to that lender. And that's really what you're paying us for, to determine best set of circumstances on that client, which lender is going to best serve that client. Right. And for the realtors out there, if you have a mortgage banker that you're working with, wonderful. Hopefully it's somebody, I'm sure it's somebody that you trust, maybe you've been doing business with for a long time. But it would behoove you and your clients to also have a good experienced mortgage broker in your corner as well. We don't mind being your backup. What are you doing?
And now for something completely different.
Okay, this is the Realtor Spotlight section of our show, and this week we're pleased to have with us Roger Fruits from Prudential Tropical Realty.
And Roger, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, appreciate you having me on the show. This is a great show. Been watching it online there, and I really have passed it along to my buyers. So I really thank you on that. Been in the area with Prudential Tropical here in Tarpon Springs, and been in the area for about 25 years, done real estate business for about 35 years. I hate to say that.
I know, it's hard. To learn more about the properties that Roger is highlighting today, click on the link below that says Realtor Spotlight, and you can learn all about his homes. And hopefully...
we're hoping that you have a buyer for
you have a buyer.
I'm hoping to.
On to our movie challenge for this week. Congratulations last
Finally
week.
Finally an easy one.
It was a very easy one. Animal House, which was correctly named by Karen Bennett from Charles Ruttenberg Realty. Congratulations, Karen. Here's this week's challenge.
Nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
Please be the first to email us the answer, the correct answer to that movie, and you'll get 2 free tickets. As a reminder, next week we have Danny Logue from Pillar to Post as a guest, and he's going to come on and talk to us about the inspection and what he sees every day. Probably a very interesting one. Danny's got a lot of good information for us.
Please comment, email, blog us down below, all that fun stuff. Visit our sponsors, and we're real excited. We have a new sponsor this week. Please check him out. It's Danny Green from Danny's Restoration and Carpet, and he really specializes in flood restoration, mold, that kind of stuff, getting all that stuff out. Click on his banner, check him out, and get all the information there. Other than that, that's our show for this week. Thanks so much for watching. We are
moving forward. See everybody next week.
Bye-bye.
I know what's wrong with this show.
What?
It's the theater.
What's wrong with it?
The seats face the stage.